What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and welcome to another episode of Path to a Million podcast. Wanted to bring you guys up to speed on a new development today in the PPP saga. There was a new bill proposed by three Democratic senators, Jeanne Shaheen, Ben Cardin, and Chris Coons, and it's called the Prioritized Paycheck Protection Program Act. So it's called, for short, it's the P4 Act. And what this is, what the point of the bill is to allow people that are small businesses or self-employed, so it would be 100 employees or less. This includes sole proprietorships and self-employed individuals. This would be for people that have already gotten a PPP loan and they've either already expended it or they're on pace to exhaust the funding. And this is important, that they must demonstrate a revenue loss of 50% or more due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So there's still some details that need to be worked out on that, but this would allow people to apply for a second PPP loan. And that second loan would be it says up to 2.5 times your monthly payroll costs. So basically the amount that you got in the first PPP loan, you would probably, as long as you have the same employee or the same payroll cost, you would probably be able to get the same amount. Now, again, there's a lot of details of the bill that haven't been fleshed out yet. So it may be the 2.5 times of your monthly payroll costs, maybe based on what your current payroll is. It could be based off of what your payroll was calculated off of on the first one. Not really sure on that. But when you combine that with the thing that passed last week, the Flexibility Act that extended it from 8 weeks to 24 weeks, if you were able to get a second round of people, like for me, for example, the extension really helped me because my 8 weeks ended on Thursday, and I was going to get stuck with, I think, around like $10,000 to $15,000 of money that I wasn't going to be able to use or get forgiveness for. So I would have gotten forgiven for the part that I spent, but then I was going to have to either take that extra $10,000 to $15,000 as a loan, or I would have had to, pay the loan off by giving the money back. So between the extension of the 24 weeks or to the 24 weeks and being able to potentially add a second PPP loan, I think that would be a huge opportunity for the people that really got hit hard, the people in New York, the people in Jersey, the people in California, where there was a lot of lockdown going on. A lot of the middle of the country maybe didn't get hit as hard in terms of people were still kind of out and about, or if you weren't in a state that had shelter in place, like my office, we had to shut down for a month. So that really hurt us in that month, and then the next month, and it'll probably hurt us for the next couple of months coming up as insurance money starts to come in. But there's some other conditions in here that at least either 25 billion or 20% of whatever the funds are that get approved for this would go to people with 10 or fewer employers, including sole proprietorships and self-employed people, as well as small businesses in underserved and rural communities. So that means that we wouldn't get stuck out in the cold the way that a lot of smaller businesses did on that first round of PPP money, because a lot of the money that went out in that first round went to those massive employers that had hundreds, if not thousands, of employees, and they were getting millions of dollars. Well, they not only did they limit this to 100 or fewer employees, but then they also carved out money for employers with 10 or fewer employees, which would be, I think, the vast majority of chiropractors. So I just wanted to take a look and see if there was, so you guys can see the language. So it says maybe as large as 2.5 times monthly payroll costs, just as under initial PPP loans, but may not be any larger than 2 million. It says allows borrowers to apply for forgiveness as early as 8 weeks after the loan is dispersed and they have fulfilled payroll requirements, rather than make them wait until the earlier of 24 weeks or December 31st. It's not available to publicly traded companies. And where's the part about the 50%? Hold on one second. Let me just find this. Okay, so it says that they have demonstrated a revenue loss of 50% or more due to the pandemic compared to a relevant period. So that's the part that we would need to see what that entails, because there's a certain period that I would be able to say, yes, we collected less than 50% of what we did, say, the same time the year before. I don't know if we're going to be comparing it to the couple months right before this all hit. So it all depends on what the details are of how you're creating, like what time period you're using to show that 50%. But that 50%, it's so the two big requirements are that you have 100 or fewer employees, and that you have a revenue loss of 50% or more. So for those of you that stayed open and you're only down like 10, 20%, this is probably not going to apply to you. For the people that got hit harder, this will be hopefully a great news. So again, this is very early in the stage. It just got submitted today in terms of like, hey, we're going to do this bill. And so right now they're probably looking for Republican co-sponsors. If it passes the Senate, it would for sure pass the House, and then Trump would sign it. It would all be about whether McConnell wants to bring it to the floor or not. But I don't know who would be against this, because it really limits it to just the people that were hit the hardest through all of this. So hopefully that happens. I talked on the other video I just did where there's been some rumblings of allowing people that got less than $150,000 on their first PPP loan to just automatically get forgiven, to where we wouldn't have to go through the really complicated process of the forgiveness application. It would also help people out that maybe laid people off and are unsure about whether they're going to get the full forgiveness or not. I think that one seems like I've been hearing more and more about it, so I think it's picking up steam a little bit. So hopefully these two things happen. This second, people that have been hit hard and are down 50 or were down 50% can get that second PPP loan, and then number two, that the people that got less than 150,000 just get the automatic loan forgiveness. So hopefully that helps you guys. Let's see if there's any comments. There are not. All right. So if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll get to them later today. And hopefully you guys have a good one. See you.